Hello and welcome to the Case Study Part 3 overview. So you have completed Parts 1 and 2. If you need a refresher on what we've covered, please go back and check out those videos. We're going to cover the specifics of Case Study Part 3, which includes the content we've covered in Units 5 and 6. Please make sure to check the schedule for the availability periods. In this video, we will be covering Case Study Part 3, Sections 1, 2, and 3, Units 5 and 6, and how to apply what you've learned, and the grading expectations based upon the rubric and what to do to make a passing grade. For Case Study Part 3, again like the previous two parts, it's divided into 3 sections. Section 1, you are to review your client's credit report and summarize the report for the clients so that they understand. Make sure to consider how each of the parts of the report affect the ability to receive credit. There is an issue on the credit report. Explain to your clients how they should handle this and answer the questions from the case study instructions. For Section 2, your clients are concerned about some items that have appeared on their credit report. Help your clients by creating a one-page dispute letter that addresses the concerns and make sure to send it to the correct address. That would be the main credit reporting agencies, which you will need to look up this information. Your clients also have a legal issue that they need help resolving. You will need to research and provide them with a referral to a nonprofit organization that provides free legal services. For this part of the case study assignment, please assume that your client's income is $45,000 annually, even though it may be different based on the facts of the case study. You will need to include the name of the organization, where it is located, keeping in mind where your clients live, what types of services they provide, and why it's important as a financial counselor to refer your clients to a partner organization. Next, in Section 3, you will need to prepare recommendations for your clients that they will need to start working on after the next meeting. Make sure to answer all of the questions from Case Study Part 3 instructions and answer the questions as if you were speaking to the clients. Next, let's go on to review the unit material. In Unit 5, which consists of the last few chapters from the financial counseling book, we've covered the relationship between the counselor and the client. This topic was covered in the chapter titled Counseling Relationship, which covered the 7 different principles of underlying strategies. We also learned about the different counseling strategies that foster responsibility and problem solving. These strategies were discussed mainly in the chapter titled Decision Making and Problem Solving. These chapters breaks down the different methods by basic, which has 7 methods, rational, which has 5, and intuitive and creative, which has 6. Moving on to Unit 6, we learned different ways to navigate debt collection and debt issues. We learned different ways to raise money to repay debts and what choices we needed to avoid that could cause more harm than good. We also learned the approaches to managing foreclosure and repossession. We reviewed ways to defend your home and protections against foreclosure. We also covered the seizure of household goods, what can and cannot be seized. So now let's move on. For this slide, I wanted to dig a little deeper into Sections 1 and 2. For Section 1, how do you explain your client's credit report? You'll want to open the credit reports that are found in the Case Study Resource folder. There will be titles to each part that are in blue. Each of these titles showcase different information. It is your job to explain to your client what is under each title and how it affects the credit report. For Section 2, you are asked to help write a dispute letter to the main credit reporting agencies. Within the case study instructions, there is a link to a template that you can use to write this letter. This letter needs to include important specific information such as client's name, date of the transaction, what is being disputed, etc. To learn more, refer to the chapter reading. Now, let's move on to grading expectations. For Case Study Part 3, here are some of the details from the grading rubric that I'd like to highlight. Please know that this is not the full rubric. You can view the full rubric by clicking the View Rubric button in the submission page of Blackboard. So most students miss points because they don't clearly state the problem on the report. This is where you can use your counseling skills to explain to the client what issues there are and how this could affect their future. Next, make sure that the dispute letter is on a separate page by itself. This is where you can showcase your professionalism by including this letter in your write-up, but making sure that it looks like a letter and not divided by different pages. And for the nonprofit organization you will be referring your clients to, you will need to do some research. Most students don't consider the client's location and thus refer them to an organization in a different state. Yikes. So please make sure to include all the contact information for the nonprofit organization. Lastly, and probably most important, please make sure you are including enough information that supports your recommendations. This is where you can use the new terms that you've learned and explain them to your client on why you chose to do what you did. If you follow the rubric while you are writing the paper and double checking the checklist at the end of the instructions, you will less likely miss components of the assignment. And missing components of the assignment equals missing points for your grade. If you've missed the other videos that cover the prior case study parts, check out the resource discussion board for those links. That's a wrap for Case Study Part 3 Overview. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was helpful. Remember to check the schedule for the availability periods and due dates. Good luck!